guys, right? I don't even know, like, I'm going to pull out the extent. I'm going to really lean into, even for me, the stuff that I'm experiencing, there's been and I did a post on Instagram about it today. Just some of the hard closures in my life and relationships with people I thought were friends or, acquaintances. And then my brain wants to associate myself with all these things, all these other friendships or family relationships or whatever that had closed out in a very similar way. That makes me think like, well, what am I doing? Why am I the problem? But I had a huge reconciliation with that. I am not responsible. Like, nothing I do is intentionally violating. I can say that. Even if I'm reacting, even if I'm like having a moment, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. And I'm innocent. I'm not perfect. To me, it just floors me when it just is what it is. I'm not going to get into it. It's not about a judgment of the other person or the other people. This is something that they need to do for themselves. But in going through this, like, there are parts of me that I'm like, man, I thought I healed this. And honestly, it's like the last swan song of this Pluto in Capricorn. And I'm just done. I'm done being responsible for the way that people treat me. I'm done being responsible for the way that I'm perceived. I'm done being responsible for how people react or their feelings or, I'm done with that. And I honestly think the less I care about all of that stuff, the less I mess up, because I'm just always authentic. I'm not trying to like worry about hurting somebody's feelings and then I kind of mess things up because I'm going about it the wrong way or whatever it is. Here's the thing. I'm done with all that. And in that is my empowerment. I'm letting go of all of these tethers and responsibilities as if I'm responsible for people. Like, it's crazy. I don't know how things are for y'all, but that's kind of what's going on with me. So I want to kind of lean into where this overall energy is taking us as a collective. Okay. Where you need to be, enjoying the journey, and persistent drive. I kind of love these. We have empowerment, co-creation with source, and intuition. I think this is about, so we have where you need to be, okay? So I'm going to just overlay these just a little bit. Enjoying the journey, okay? And persistent drive, okay? I am not quite in the place where I think we can just rewrite our whole world without any consideration of what you're carrying in your cells and in your fields and in your subconscious. It's sort of a bypassing effect, but if that's something you want to experience and play with, that's part of the journey, right? I think letting go of the seriousness of everything, of having to be so overtly serious, that comes from the responsibility, right? The responsibility that we have to put our best foot forward and we have to do things perfectly all the time, or we'll be punished, or we'll be rejected, or we'll be abandoned, or we'll be neglected, or whatever that is. We're dismantling all of that stuff. I have a hard time not being serious. Like, I find this subject is so serious, and it's so, it's such a big part of everyone's life that's on this journey that it's hard to say, well, we're not going to be serious about this anymore. It's a serious thing. However, we're learning to dismantle quite a bit of that seriousness. So understanding that we are going to persistently move forward no matter what. Even, there was something I read. So when I was a kid, I went into this dance. It's called clogging. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. I think it's a Dutch. It's like tap, but it's got a double metal piece. It's just different. It was really celebrated. Like, I grew up in the country. It's celebrated there. And I had this clogging teacher. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this story, but I had this clogging teacher and she was just awesome. I just loved her. She's now like a medium. She's a psychic medium, and she does these group sessions and she talks to people's loved ones who have passed. Anyways, such a small world and how everything's connected. But she posted the other day that giving up is not the same as surrendering. Surrendering is consistently moving forward and just opening to allow, whereas giving up is closing your heart. And I think we're in so much more pain when we close our hearts. And so I think we're always going to persistently move forward. And it's to remember that this is about the journey, not so much about the destination, but in the energy that's closing out, and how much of a pressure time is, and how much of a pressure dates are, and all of these things, it makes it hard to let go of that. So, but understanding that we need to be where we need to be, even if we don't like where we are, we need to be here. It will become clear the more we open and allow to receive our messages. Okay. So for the feminines, I kind of want to clarify a little bit. Maybe just like what you need to know, what you need to focus on. What do you need to know? What do you need to focus on for you? Because the more you focus on you, the more you embody you it's such a weird dynamic. And I get this sometimes with clients where it's like, I don't want to, like, they keep wanting to figure out their masculine so they can make the right decision for themselves. And I get that too. Like, I think we're all conditioned to be that way, to take into consideration all of these moving parts, but we're not here to do that. The moving parts are here to move around us. We are not here to move the parts. That's the masculine energy. So there's something I think, okay, what do you need? What did the divine feminines need to know right now? Oh, we've got this. Okay. I'm going to put it on its side. We've got the 9 of Cups on its side. Your dreams and wishes might be changing. What if every morning you woke up and you had a new dream? What if? What if we let go of the attachment to what we're wishing for? That's a hard thing to do, but I think it's possible. And I've honestly, like, if I get distracted by stuff, like good stuff, like creative stuff, I don't worry about what I'm wishing for. But the problem is that we've all been in this like stagnant holding pattern that has us fixating cerebrally and mentally. We're meant to come back into our body. We're meant to come back into our heart and into our intuition and out of the brain. Okay. We keep wanting to like make things technical, but there is no one size fits all manual. So I think if some of your dreams have been shifting and changing, let them. It doesn't mean you were wrong. You might have dreamed about something in order to engage in a direction that you needed to go in, and maybe that dream isn't what you want anymore. That's okay. That doesn't mean you were wrong to dream for that. And it doesn't matter if it came to fruition or not, okay? I really think that we're being guided based on what we need in the moment. So, what is it that the divine feminines can focus on right now? Oh, we've got the 7 of Swords. There's a couple of meanings with this. We have non-action. There are things moving and going deep, going into the subconscious, going into the hidden energies of things. Where is this really coming from? If you want to, there's something. Yeah. Are you defensive? Are you painting a narrative? Are you painting a picture from a place of being defensive? I do this. I won't lie about that. And what can we focus on in regard to the 7 of Swords? Because, yeah, what if things are working out for you? Instead of having that filtered version of trying to look for something that's wrong, okay, what if, or if your intuition is pinging and you don't know where that ping is coming from, and it makes you, due to old patterns, think that something's wrong. Are you focusing on something that's wrong? Are you looking for something to be wrong? Lean into that, because there's a conscious shift that can happen with this. Do I need to worry about this? No, because you haven't messed up. You do not need to correct this. You do not need to correct yourself. You did not mess up on this journey. You didn't do anything wrong. It does not matter what you perceived, received, understood. You were not wrong. Just because the 3D world is not willing to reflect back to you the truth, it does not mean it's not true. And that's where a spiritual overlay of everything outside of you is you're responsible because of what's inside of you. There's something we don't understand about that. And to be so black and white about it, all it does is create constant responsibility for things you have no responsibility over. So focus on what's going to give you hope. What's going to give you faith? What's going to allow your personal healing? What's going to allow you to believe in your personal trajectory? What's going to allow you to believe that there are elements and energies and people and beings working in the background in your favor? What's going to allow that for you? I don't know that answer either, but I'm going to journal about it. I'm going to journal about that today and lean in. Okay. For the masculines, what do we need to know for the masculines? Oh yeah, we have the 3D and 5. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at how thin that rope is getting. Whatever tightrope they're walking on isn't going to hold them for much longer. It's not. Okay? It's almost like the tightrope they're walking on is also responsible for the cage we're in as divine feminines. It is not their fault we're in this cage. Just like it's not their fault that they're walking on this thin wire. Just like it's not our fault that they're walking on this thin wire and they're not free yet. We are exactly where we need to be, even if we don't like it. Okay. I don't know what that means yet. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to look back and be like, oh, damn. But it will not be today. Probably not, okay? But this is a hard close. But do you see how that other door is kind of open a creak? Okay, the door to the new path is opening for them. But they've got to cut these ties because not everything or everyone can come through them, can come through the door with them, okay? What are they focused on right now? Like, what are they focused on and what are they realizing? So what are they focused on? Oh yeah. Yep. We've got massive closure, massive pain. Every day I check in with him, I'm like, are you okay? He's like, no. And I'm like, are you good? No. Are you happy? No. Are you healthy? Yes. Okay. Are you solid? Yes. But it's the 3 of Swords, right? But look at what comes through that. Okay. What are they realizing about their lives, their situation, whatever it is? Patience is required. They are absolutely more patient than the divine feminine. I can tell you that right now. And I know some of you are going to want to argue with me. Their blindfolds are not off yet. They have not been given permission to just toss a coin and do what they want because there's things that are being settled. And I'm not saying any of it's okay. They are more patient. They are able to endure more than the feminines. It doesn't mean the feminine hasn't been patient with their person. It doesn't mean they haven't had patience. It doesn't mean they aren't patient. But I think because we know so much magic is out there and so much magic is within us, we have a harder time accepting what is. It just is. There's no wrong thing about that. It just is. Whereas the masculines, due to their own secular path, have an easier time accepting what is and being patient for the right moment. Whatever that moment is, their timing is always impeccable. I don't know why. Okay. What is it they want to do right now? Okay, yeah. They just want to be the fuck alone. They just want to be left alone. Look at that. They just want to be left alone. And not from their feminine. Not from their feminine. I feel they want to just be left alone. Like, stop. Like, I think that's just what I feel when I feel into them. they're so bombarded. Everybody's picking at them. Everybody wants something from them. And then that's amplified by their own conditioning where they think you know how we do that, where we create all of these other narratives in our head based on, our experience. And anyways, what are they? I don't know if I'll get a feeling card out of these. Oh, I meant to use the masculine cards, but I guess I wasn't meant to use those in this reading. Okay. What do the masculines want the divine feminines to know right now? Okay. Yeah. It's all working out. Okay, that's from their higher selves. Obviously, their human selves aren't 100% sure. I think some of them have plans for sure. They've got plans in place, but because their plans involve other people, because it's almost out of their control, the timing of things. Just like where the things that we want to do as feminines, they're out of our control right now. Like, if we can just understand, if we can just accept that they're not living their best lives, like they're going through major closures too. And when there's conversation, you will know all of this. You might actually need to do, like for me, I'm probably going to need to do some reconciliation with how much I projected judgment onto the choices he was making, because I'm sure when we have this conversation, it's all going to be clear as to why he did what he did. And I'm not him. I'm not living in his life. And as much as I think I'd make this decision or that decision, I don't know if I would. Like their upbringing, they're all this stuff. Okay. Okay, so further, let's kind of go back just a little bit. What's further closing out in the 3D for the feminines? What is closing out in the 3D for the feminines? Oh, the inability to receive help or accept help, or even how we've kind of not had a whole lot of help. I think that's closing out. I think we're going to receive a big boon of help. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if it's financial for some people, new friendships, new connections coming into the new opportunities. We're closing out this chapter in the sweatshop. Like, we've been in the sweatshop this whole time. Like, we've moved out of the sweatshop. I don't know if we got a promotion or what we're doing, but I think we're going to get what we need. What is coming in support-wise for the feminines from the fifth dimensional? Oh, interesting that we have like the King of Cups. It was kind of in reverse, but this feels like, I mean, obviously it's emotional maturity, maybe even because I feel like the King, because it came up in reverse, so I have to honor that. And I don't think our dreams are going to subside at all. I think they're going to continue to give us whatever we need. But the King of Cups in reverse, this feels like we're going to be less drowning in emotion. Or, and it's not to say that because I do feel we'll still be emotional, but it's not going to be the same. A regulation of emotions without the expectations of having to master all of that. Hopefully my mic's on. Anyway. What is closing out for the masculines in the 3D? Okay. Yeah. Karma. And here's the thing. They've been working on all this karma for us too. Whatever karmic people are in their life, like, we have karma with those people too. They're closing that out for us. They're living in their lives with those people to help us close it out. We're doing the energetic stuff. They're doing the physical stuff. I don't know how else to explain it, but yes, they're closing out for good. I kind of like, the cats are funny. The cats are going at it on the scales. The black and white of things, dissolving all of that. What support are they receiving from the fifth dimensional energy? Perseverance. We're not going to see another 180. We're not going to see them doing another 180 back into the karma. Okay. We're not going to see that. They are steadfast moving forward regardless of the fear. Okay. Towards the Queen of Pentacles. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, we're going to clarify. Give me 2 cards to clarify this outcome of the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Coins, and the Emperor. The Emperor is coming. And here's what's really interesting. We as divine feminines tend to be more masculine. We have a hard, I think anybody, I shouldn't say just the divine feminines, but divine femininity is hard to embody when you don't feel safe. Our protective people are with other people living other lives. It's hard for us to truly, fully embody our divine femininity without feeling safe. Safety is such a huge part of that because we then let go of the need to defend, deflect, protect. We just get to be. Think about being. There's something with that, okay? So let's get the Knight of... Okay, so we've got something, it's moving quicker than we realize, okay? It might be a little chaotic, okay? It's not anything you imagined, okay? Yeah, but it's everything we need, okay? I know that doesn't give us a whole shit ton to work with because, again, we can't really be too definitive in these things. But I feel the resonance of everything I'm saying. I feel that's where they're at. I feel this is where we're at. We are done with these cycles. And there's still, it's almost like, this is such a terrible analogy. It's, bear with me, TMI if you're grossed out by this. But it's like, you know when you have a really big shit and then there's farts after, like you're just farting out the excess gas. It's like we're in the stage of farting out the excess gas because we've already had a dump. I don't know why I wanted to go to that space, but here we are. Just hold the light for yourself. If you can't hold light for your person, lean in because somewhere in there you're struggling to hold light for yourself and your choices. I know that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but I think when we realize, like, hang on, I'm just as innocent as my person is. They're doing the best they can with what they actually have at their disposal. We've done the best that we could, with what we have at our disposal. It's a big dismantling process to take down that wall of blame and say, no one did anything wrong. And as much as we don't like where we're at right now, there's a reason we're here. And if we can kind of lean into that, I know it makes me feel better. Hopefully it makes you feel better. And I'm sending you guys so much love.